Hi there, it's May here. Welcome back to another video. If you've been following me around on socials, you'll know that I just came back from my very first trip to Japan. It was an incredible experience. We took a day trip to Mount Fuji, visited Sensoji Temple, and we also enjoyed a lot of delicious food. I'm not even sure I can properly enjoy sushi now that I'm back in Australia, because I know it's definitely not going to compare to the sushi that we had in Japan. It's such a beautiful country and I am already daydreaming about going back. Of course, one of the things that I was most excited about for the trip was this stationery shopping, because you guys know Japanese stationery is just on point. It's one of the best quality stationery out there, especially their pens. And of course, I had to grab a couple of goodies for you guys. We reached an incredible milestone of 1,000 subscribers a while back, and I haven't been able to properly celebrate with a giveaway, so please stay tuned to the end of the video for that. And yeah, let's get started. So before I went on my trip, I asked you for some suggestions on where to go to get the best stationery in Tokyo, and the three main places that were suggested were Itoya, Loft, and Tokyo Hands. Now, we were staying relatively close to Ginza. It was like about a half an hour walk to get there, and because they were all relatively in the same area and within walking distance of each other, we made a day trip going stationery shopping. Now, I do have to say that my stationery haul is a lot smaller than I anticipated, and the main reason for that was because of this bad girl here, which is all beautifully wrapped up. This one, as you can see, was from Itoya, which was the first stop that we made. And because I am most excited about this item, I'm going to leave this one last. So the first place we visited was Itoya, and yeah, because she basically blew through my stationery budget, the rest of the haul is relatively conservative. So let's jump into the second store that we visited, and we'll get back to unboxing this one a bit later. So the second store that we visited after Itoya was actually Loft in Ginza. And Loft is more of a department store, I would say. They have different floors for tech, homewares, beauty, and of course stationery. The first thing that I picked up in Loft was this stamp and also stamp pad. Now, I have to say that I have not always been super big into stamping. I'm more of a sticker and pens and highlighter type of girl, but I really wanted to grab this little stamp here to start making a swatch book of all of the different fountain pen inks that I have on hand, just for reference and just to see also how the color payoff is on different paper. So that's the reason why I got this. Having said that though, in Japan, I actually got really into stamping. So there's this thing in Japan where you can collect something called an eki stamp, which is a stamp that is collected at different train stations in Japan. So this is my travel journal that I started in Japan, and it also acted as my stamp book for the trip. So we went to a whole bunch of different places, like I mentioned previously, including Mount Fuji, and I just went ham collecting all of the different stamps at the stations. So the stamps are usually located at exits of the station, and depending on how large the station is, they would have multiple exits. So some of them were actually really hard to find, but it was a really fun challenge to try to collect all of the different stamps. And in hindsight, I kind of wished that I had got a proper stamp book. So I saw that a couple of local Japanese people who were collecting stamps had a proper stamp book, so that they could collect all of the different locations. And in hindsight also, I wish I had written down some of the names of the stamps, because some of them didn't come out as clear as I hoped. So with that being said, I think my whole outlook on stamping has completely changed ever since the Japan trip, and I'm excited to see how I can incorporate stamping more into my daily planning and journaling. So I'm really excited to build out my stamp collection, and this one is the first stamp that I got, which is a super functional stamp because I can see myself using this quite often with my fountain pen inks. And of course I had to get myself an ink pad as well, and this one is just in regular black, just something that is super functional and will be good to have on hand. Now the next thing that I picked up is the Pilot Iroshizuku inks for the fountain pen, and I have heard so many good things about the Pilot inks, but the only thing is they are quite expensive in Australia, so the price point was a lot more affordable in Japan, of course. And from my understanding, the 15 milliliter bottles are only available as a set of 3 in a gift set, and not as standalone bottles. So it was really cool to see that in Loft, at least. I'm not sure if this is the same across the board in Japan, but if you purchased 3 bottles of inks, you could mix and match, of course. You got a gift box as well to go with it. So this is the first set that I purchased, and a cool tip as well, if you're ever visiting Japan, you can actually get a tax refund as a tourist. So usually at the store, they'll have a tourist refund counter that they'll do after you've checked out, and it means that you will save about 10% off your purchases, which is the tax rate in Japan. So once the tax refund has been put through, you're actually not supposed to use the product if it's a consumable. They'll usually put everything into a bag because you're not supposed to consume it within Japan. So yeah, handy tip if you're visiting Japan. So funny story, we actually ended up going to Loft twice, and on my second visit I picked up another set of inks because we're in Japan. I'm never going to be able to pick out my own inks, and why not? Anyway, because these were all sealed up, I totally forgot which ink colors I got, and I ended up picking the same bottle twice. So on my second trip, I picked up Kujaku, Hana Ikada, and also again Yamaburu. So I have duplicates of that, so I will probably end up destashing one of them. But yeah, I ended up picking 2 of the same inks. So yeah, that's my little haul from Loft. Let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see some swatches of those inks later on. So moving on to the third stationery store that we visited, which is Tokyo Hands. Now this was also quite a small stationery haul because we also went there half an hour before closing time, so we didn't have much time to look around, but I did pick up a couple of things from there. So first up, I got these Midori index clips, and I've heard that these are really good for using with thin paper such as Tomoe River paper. So I'm very excited to use this in my commonplace journal to mark off different sections. And the next 2 items that I picked up are these Uniball 1 pens, and I really enjoy using the smaller baby versions of these, which are the Uniball 1P pen. They're so cute and they're so smooth to write with, so I thought I would pick up these ones in neutral colors, of course, in this pink and beige. These are from the limited edition Earth collection, and they have a stony texture to them, which I thought was super cool. So these are the items that I got from Tokyo Hands. So those were the 3 main stationery stores that we visited, but we also did go to Disney Sea and Sanrio Land, which had a lot of stationery as well in their souvenir shops. Disney Sea was so fun. We did go on a super cold day, which meant that it wasn't as busy as it would normally be, but the lines were still super long. A lot of the rides were 2-hour long waits, which we weren't super keen on waiting around in the cold, so we did spend a lot of time in the different souvenir shops that were scattered around the theme park, just browsing, looking for gifts for families and loved ones. So I picked up a couple of things at Tokyo Disney Sea. I got this Frixion ballpoint pen, which has four different colors and some cute characters on the barrel there. I also picked up this limited edition Mildliner set. I believe this can only be purchased at Disney Sea. And this is in the beautiful Gentle collection that was released in 2022. And the last thing that I picked up is this super cute Winnie the Pooh Jetstream. So it has 4 different colors and also, I believe, a mechanical pencil inside as well. Because it was Winnie the Pooh and rose gold, I couldn't help myself. So that was the small haul that I did at Tokyo Disney Sea. And the next theme park that we visited was Puroland, also known as Sanrio Land. So Sanrio is the company that created Hello Kitty, and it was really evident to see how much Hello Kitty and Sanrio have influenced Japanese culture, because when we got off the train station to go to Puroland, the entire station was Hello Kitty Sanrio themed. There were little Hello Kitty motifs on the escalator and even on the platform numbers, and there was a beautiful Hello Kitty mural on top of the train station ceiling as well. So it was really exciting to see. We also went to Sanrio on the last day of our trip, which happened to be the day that it started snowing. And this was the first time I had ever seen snow in my life, so it was incredibly beautiful, and we were lucky to experience that on the last day of our trip. But I quickly realized how dangerous it is to be walking around snow. It is so slippery. So it was super interesting walking back to the train station, because I was struggling low-key pretty bad and trying not to make myself fall over, but it was a super memorable day and really exciting to see nonetheless. So Sanrio Land actually had a larger selection of stationery compared to Disney Sea, so I did pick up a couple more goodies from there. I noticed that they tend to have Kurotogas, Jetstreams, and Energels, or Frixion ball pens at all of these different themed stationery amusement parks or theme parks. The first one I picked up is the Pochaco Energel pen. Growing up, I really loved Pochaco, so you'll see a lot of Pochaco themed items in this haul. I also picked up a Uni Jetstream and a Kurotoga as well, because my previous one broke. Now, the cool thing about Kurotoga mechanical pencils is that they have this feature which allows the lead to rotate as it gets pushed out, and this just means that the writing is always consistent when you write with a Kurotoga mechanical pencil, unlike other pencils that I've experienced in the past where you will write with the pen and then it will go kind of blunt. So when I saw this one, I knew it would be a perfect replacement for my old one. I also got a little notebook because it was so cute and adorable. Not quite sure what it looks like inside, so let's open it up. I believe from the side it's just a lined notebook though. So yeah, it's just a cute little lined notebook around A6 size, a little bit smaller than A6 perhaps, but yeah, super cute. And the next 2 items are Hello Kitty themed. I ended up getting a Frixion ball pen, slim. I am not too familiar with Frixion ball pens, so excited to try this one out. This one is in a 0.38 millimeter and it's got 3 different colors. And last but not least, I got this Hello Kitty Energel pen. Energel is probably my most favorite gel pen ever, so of course I had to pick it up in this Hello Kitty limited edition Hello Kitty barrel as well. We also went to the Kokuyo store in the Haneda airport. I think it was Terminal 3. So they packaged everything in this cute little bag, which upon further inspection can actually be used for a book cover. So all you have to do is just cut them and fold them according to the score marks that are on the piece of paper, and you have yourself a pretty book cover. But anyway, let's just quickly dive into it. Nina! So let's open up this little package and see what we have inside. The cool thing about Kokuyo was they had a vending machine with stationery that you could buy. And if you can hear something inside, we have a new puppy called Nina. She's a Samoyed and she's just biting on a little piggy. But Kokuyo had a vending machine with stationery, and you could buy pens, you could buy some notebooks and a mystery gift pack as well, which was super cool. So when I bought my stuff, they also gave me this sticker here, as well as a card. Here's a card. So I thought I would keep this and put it in my journal, and a freebie sticker. So I ended up getting a notebook. This one is, I believe, a 4mm grid notebook with a slightly creamy colored paper. It's by the brand Pentel, I believe. I haven't actually quite heard of this brand, but I saw that they had a lot of different styles in the store, so I thought I would pick myself up one for journaling. The other thing that I picked up is this document file, and I thought it was super cool because it has a lot of different pockets. So I really wish that I had this at the beginning of my trip, because there are so many different pockets, so it would have been perfect to house all the different things like passports and receipts, because we had to keep the receipts when we wanted to get a tax refund to show at the airport, boarding passes, etc., and also different currencies as well. So I thought this was super handy, but I think I'll be using this as my on-the-go catch-all document holder for when I'm going to and from the office. There is a clear pocket at the front here, some space to put some cards, another pocket here, I believe, another pocket here, and a section to file different pieces of paper, and I believe this fits A4 or letter size paper, and everything just bundles together with a nice elastic band there. So yeah, that was everything in the haul. Let's go back to the Itoya haul, which was the fountain pen, because I'm so excited to unbox that with you guys. So let's finally unbox this little baby from Itoya. So Itoya is a 12-story, I believe, stationery store. At least the Ginza one that we visited is, and each level had a different theme. So for example, the first floor that we were on, so the ground floor, was filled with cards and washi tape and writing sets as well. There was also another entire floor dedicated to stationery, arts and crafts, and even a fountain pen floor. And it was just overall a very luxurious experience. Of course, I spent most of my time on the fountain pen floor, and it was just rows and rows of beautiful fountain pens from different brands, and the service was really top notch as well. I had to be put on a waiting list to be served by a sales rep. As soon as I set foot on the floor, I had my eyes on the Line Friends collection, and it was a very beautiful pen that I've seen on Charmaine Dulac's channel. I'm not particularly familiar with Line Friends collection or the characters in that collection, but from my understanding, this collaboration is only available in Japan and North America, and it was just a beautiful brown color with a cute little bear on it, so I knew I had to have it. So as soon as I saw this pen, I figured, might as well get it, treat myself. I'm in Japan. When am I going to be able to have this opportunity to buy this beautiful pen again? And yeah, I took the jump and bought this pen. So let's undo the ribbon and unbox this. So they wrapped it beautifully for me. This was a complimentary service, and what I really love about Japanese customer service is they always have good, like really good attention to detail, and they have a specific way of wrapping presents which only uses a single piece of tape, and it's just a beautiful origami gift wrapping, so it adds a nice touch to the products as well. So let's go ahead and do the seal. And here is the beautiful box that comes with the Sailor Line Friends edition. So it's a 14 karat gold in medium fine, and here is the hardcover box. And yay! My little fountain pen. It's in a beautiful brown color. And I love the little details on them. So there's a little bear face on the top of the cap there, as well as, and on the nib there is a little teeny tiny bear detail there, which I thought was super cute. So yeah, that is my new pen. I'm excited to try her out. I've kept her for about a week now, boxed, because I wanted to show you guys in this video. The customer service was top notch. They let me test the pen before I used it, and then before packaging it up they also cleaned the pen for me. So it was a really nice experience to have, particularly as I've never purchased fountain pens in person before. I've only ever bought them online, and of course they just come in the plastic bag with the box. Another thing that I wanted to note as well when purchasing in store was that it also came with a converter. So from my understanding, the Sailor pens will come with black ink inside, as I usually have to buy a converter separately. So it was really nice that they included this for me. And of course we have the paperwork, just how to fill in the cartridges and how the fountain pen works, I'm assuming. And of course we have here the Sailor Line Friends collection authenticity card as well. So that is super cute. I am so excited to try this pen out. But yeah, I'm so excited to have this as a part of my collection because I've been a big fan of Sailor pens. I've been growing my collection quite quickly, and yeah, this is a beautiful pen that I'm sure I'm going to cherish. So that concludes the haul today. So as I promised you guys, we are also going to be having a giveaway on this channel to celebrate reaching 1,000 subscribers. So please check the description below. It's going to have all of the details on how you can win this little gift bag full of stationery items from Japan. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little haul. I would love to know which was your favorite item from this haul and whether you want to see a swatch video of the inks I purchased. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you have a good day and I'll see you next time. Bye.